Okay, and here we go. Whew. Okay, bedding, you should be clean very soon. Okay, something else on our list before we go to gutted, we need to add our stickers from the states that we visited. So I got some peeling to do. You can probably already see that there's a little bit of a mess building, but again, if you've watched my channel before, you know how they say it's always darkest before the dawn? Well, before I take off on a trip, it's always messiest before it's clean. So I usually just end up taking things out of my van, putting things back in my van, moving things onto the bed, moving things to their proper place from the bed. So that's what we're doing right now. We're starting this process. Meanwhile, the comforter is completely cleaned, but I don't want to introduce it to the van until the last thing because I want to be able to use my bed as kind of a platform for moving stuff about a little bit because I have some things that need to fit inside that otherwise usually don't go with me, but they are for this event because I have to have them. So as you can see from this, there are a few states that I need to add. Now I have been to a lot more states than this, but these are the ones that I've been physically in the van. Starting off with Washington. Little Washington's gonna fit right in here. Let me move my bat around. And yes, I said bat. Have a bat for security. That's one of the things that I added to my rig a while back. Now, let's move on to Oregon. And it's still pretty hot here today, but I did wait until a little bit later in the afternoon so I could come out here and do this. And yeah, so there's Oregon. There we go, all done. Now I can go ahead and put my chair back here because this is where it lives, right there. Until I can find a different place for it. Maybe I'll figure this out differently. Now, in the life of me traveling in my van, I probably changed portions of my van at least 40 times. Sometimes I show it on the channel, sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends on what's going on. But that chair's lived there for a while, so unless I come up with a better solution, that's where it's probably gonna stay. I'm hoping maybe I'll figure out something different, but we'll see. Anyway, next thing, I don't even know where to start next, actually. There's so many things. All of these things that are on the bed right now are typically on hooks, these hooks right here, but I'm gonna change some of those things out. So I went ahead and just threw them on the bed to make it easier. And this is what the bed looks like from this direction right now. Yeah, it's not in its prettiest shape right now, that's all I can say. But I have a solar panel up here, and then I have all my emergency equipment, which looks pretty standard, and a few loose pillows, but we have work to do. Okay guys, so some things have happened since the beginning of this video started, and one of the things that changed was I actually purchased a roof box and installed it on the top. Now you probably saw that video already and the struggle that it was, but now I'm doing the test drive to make sure that everything is okay. And I thought, what better way to do this than to go to the post office to pick up my mail. So I'm gonna pick up my mail and upload some things on the way, kind of see what it sounds like, see what it feels like, and then if everything's good, we can start packing the van the rest of the way. I emptied out everything in this section right here, and yeah, so I am basically starting from a clean slate. However, I'm also going to have to like scrub this mat because I stepped on it the other day with some shoes that had stickers, so I want to get that out before it gets in my carpet. But yeah, this is a good place. You know, at the beginning of the video, I wasn't sure that I was gonna buy the roof box, and realistically, the more I just tried to puzzle piece things in, I decided that this was the right time for me to do this. I've been contemplating this for about a year, and so finally, I did it. And I'm so happy that I did, even though I think you can tell by watching the other video, I was frustrated. Oh my goodness, that was a hard task, but everything else should be very easy in comparison. So far, it sounds like it's whistling just a little bit, going about 40 miles an hour. Yeah, it's gonna make new noises. The weird thing is, whenever I installed the roof bars initially, I didn't have any weird noises at all, but over time I developed a little bit of a light hum, and so it's just about getting used to it. The main thing I wanna make sure is that that front latch and everything is staying together though. So we're going 60 now, and nothing's flying off. So I consider this a win so far, but let's keep going. The windshield's definitely gonna have to be cleaned, and I still need to get my oil changed before I take off too. So tomorrow that's what I'm gonna be doing. But yeah, this is pulling a little bit differently. I know it's gonna affect my gas mileage just a tiny bit, but I don't know how much. You know, anytime that you make changes to your adventure vehicle, that's stuff that you're gonna have to consider. And I'm okay with that because I would like to be able to carry the things that I want to carry with me. And so since gas has come down, this is a good time for me to do this. If ever it gets up to the like $4 or $5 range again, I'll probably just remove the roof box to bring my mileage back down for my fuel economy. But you know, that is what it is. Okay, let's go check our mail. Okay, I don't know if there'll be anything in here. I did receive some really awesome things from you guys, but I have been waiting on this right here. So what is this? Well, we'll talk about this in just a little bit, but let's take a look at the roof box real quick. Okay, so far everything looks like it's still latched in place. It's a little dirty, but I kind of expected that after the struggle that I had. But yeah, nothing looks like it's moved so far. I will be climbing up on top and checking all the knobs whenever I get back to base camp though. So what is this? This is actually a slip to activate my informed delivery. The post office offers informed delivery if you have a regular address or a P.O. box. You just have to go sign up for it, and then you can digitally check your mail from the postal app, which means that you can tell whenever you have something come to you. Now, because I do have a P.O. box, but I'm not home all the time, I have my dad, who is my postman, check my mail for me pretty frequently. However, there's a lot of times whenever he makes a special trip to go check my mail because he might have forgotten and there's no mail there. So this way I'll know whenever I do have something in the box and I can say, hey Dad, I have something in there, or hey Dad, I had a package come, and that way he can pick it up for me. And then he doesn't have to do all this extra stuff in between. So now that I have this, I can get that all set up. And if you're on the road a lot, this is something that you might want to contend with also. Again, it's just through the U.S. Postal Service. It's called informed delivery. Okay guys, as you can see, I made it back to base camp, and now it's time for us to start loading stuff in the van. Still have a few more things I need to clean, like under the bed, before I start doing that, but I'm also going to be pulling some things out from under to put on the roof. So, it's kind of warm here in Texas still, so I might wait for the sun to go down just a little bit more because there's no breeze today. But I'm going to take it slow and steady because otherwise I'm going to overheat, and nobody wants that. That's not good for any of us. So, a few minutes at a time, a few minutes inside, a few minutes at a time, a few minutes inside. And I might also move the van fully into the shade because on the other side, the sun's very bright, but on this side, it's not so bad. So, yeah, that's what I've got on my mind right now with the cleaning of everything. In the meantime, though, time to sweep all of these little stickers out of my van. Ugh! This is one thing that I do not love about this part of Texas. We get these very low-lying stickers, and they're just problematic and just hang out. So, get this cleaned up a little bit better. Might have to even bring out the shop vac for this one. Not sure. I'm going to be taking these inside. These actually go with the Mark II Zero Breeze. I'm not going to be taking that with me because supposedly it is going to be fall-like weather. This could be a mistake, but I'm ready to put away summer and hope for the fall. And you know, when I'm not in the direct sunlight here, it feels pretty nice. So if it's already starting to feel kind of nice here in Texas, whenever I'm not in that direct sun, a little further north, maybe, we'll see. Okay guys, this is what it's looking like so far. Mostly just my recovery equipment. And then also I have like the bottom for the carousel here, and I have my recovery boards in the back. There's a couple more things I'm going to put up here, and then we're done. Now some of this might change, I'm not sure yet, but so far this is so handy. These are all the things that had like weird places, and then also that fit under my bed on this side. So this is going to free up that space for something else, which makes me super happy. Tripod that's pretty awkward, it's going up there. Yeah. I don't need it most of the time, but I can definitely hop up there when I do. And that'll be one less really awkward piece of equipment kind of flopping around in my space. So let's go get it. This one right here. I use this for a lot of different recording things, and yeah, it needs to go up there, but I do need to find the attachment that goes with the camera too. I'm just gonna go ahead and store them together. Okay, so I just loaded everything and I can pull it up and you can see everything is in there. I have all sorts of goodies. At some point we'll go through all of the contents of the roof box, but for now we have other projects. So I just need to line these up and lock them down. Texas is kind of a double-edged sword. By the time that it gets to the time of night where I feel comfortable like starting to load stuff, I still have to take breaks because it's still pretty humid, but also the bugs come out and then I get attacked. So, oh, well, that was a huge project done, and I still have some time to get some other things done, but we'll see how much of that gets done tonight. In the meantime though, we're gonna lock this guy down, and this is something I'm gonna have to remember every time. I also am gonna go ahead and check the other side just to make sure it's secure, because that's the first time I have actually used it the correct way. So let's make sure the other side's good, and then we'll figure out the rest of this. Okay, everything appears good. It wiggles a little bit, but it's locked, so I think it's good. While I'm getting ready to hit the road again, I thought this was a great time for us to go through some of my packages. I wanted to say thank you so much to Miss Debbie. She not only sent me some forever stamps, which will be super handy on the road, but also a cute little coloring book. So this is going to be fun to take with me. It's nice and compact. And then she wrote me a really wonderful note, and I appreciate everything that you said so much, Debbie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for thinking of me. Also, someone else who has been a real treat to my post office box is Miss Rita. Rita makes these beautiful handmade cards, and they're absolutely gorgeous. You can see here the attention to detail. She puts these together herself, and they're so amazing. I really love these. Every time I see one, I am just so enamored by the details because I'm a detail girl, and so I really love these. So I had this also in my mailbox, and I definitely wanted to say thank you, Rita. Now, I want to start off by showing you the back of this one. This is something that Jessie sent me. Jessie's one of my patrons, and whenever I received this, it came in just like this. So I was like, oh, that's really cute. And it's kind of spongy, but then I realized there's something on the other side. Look at how cute this is. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. It has dimples on here, some little bunnies that are having a wonderful campfire where it looks like they're roasting some marshmallows. I am going to find a place in Dimples for this. I'm just not sure where yet. This is just so fun. I've never seen anything like this before. So thank you so much, Jessie. Again, oh my goodness. Every trip to base camp that I have, I find all sorts of interesting things in my mailbox, from just like regular mail to amazing things like these 3 things. But also there was something else that was in my mailbox from Murphy Outfitter. Murphy Outfitter has been following the channel for quite some time, and I'm going to show you exactly what he sent on a video all by itself because, oh my goodness, this is like something that every single one of us travelers can use, and I am super excited about taking this out and putting it in the van so I can take it on an adventure, because I think that's the only way I can really make it shine. So Murphy Outfitter, you know, I'm gonna say thank you, but I want to show everybody what you sent, so coming soon. Okay guys, we're back in this, and I just cleared off this shelf so that we can put the power station that lives here. And I'm actually going to be taking a different power station this time, because the one that previously lived here is going to be staying at base camp. Now, you guys have seen I test a lot of power stations, so this trip we're taking a different power station so that we can test it out. I really want to put some time into this one so that I can give you a proper review, and so I will be reviewing it very soon, but this guy is gonna fit right here. This is the power station that will be living up there. I'm trying out the EB3A, which is a 600 watt Blue Eddy power station. They have made a few changes since the last Blue Eddy, and I think these are going to be good. Let me show you. So I think I'm going to like these changes that they've made. Again, this is a 600 watt power station, and it does have some just everyday normal features, which I'll go over in my actual video whenever I'm ready to review this. But yeah, this is going to go right up on the shelf. Now, for those of you who don't kind of track what I do on the channel here, I review a variety of power stations to kind of show you what you can and cannot use on them and how they function in my tiny space. I will be charging this guy right here using solar, but also plugging it into the van, letting it charge whenever it's driving down the road. So we'll see how this all goes. But for now, this is going to be one of my power stations that I'm plugging into nightly, so I can use it for cell phone charging, and then also so I can use it for all of my various batteries when I am going down the road or when I'm at camp. Ooh, something I am liking. This is slightly smaller than the previous one that I had tried out for the Blue Eddy, which was only a 500 watt. So this is a very compact size. That's kind of nice. That actually makes a really good spacing there so the fans can sit in front of it. But also I'll be able to put a couple of small portable cell phone chargers there also, which I love because that's where they lived before and that's where they do super well for me. I typically use those to plug in my fairy lights, but also I use those to plug in my fans. That way I'm not pulling continuously off of my bigger power stations, and those I can just like grab and go whenever I need to because they're right there and accessible, and it makes it super functional and easy. So yay! One thing down, but we got some more work to do. Now that I actually have a little bit more space right here, I might actually be able to put another power station there. And if I can, that would be great because that frees up a little bit more room in another place, which is awesome. This entire trip back to base camp has really been about freeing up and maximizing my space so that I can have more space inside to do various things. For example, the roof box up top has allowed me to have more of this space right here so I can carry my e-bike and not feel like I've got stuff everywhere. Clearing up some of the space under the bed, which you'll see again in just a few minutes, is going to allow me to move some of the things that previously didn't have a great home whenever I was having to move them in and out all the time. But being able to access them on this door over here is going to make it so much easier. You know, I've said this time and time again here on the channel, there is no one way to van life. And most of the time, even if you find the thing that you think is going to work best, you end up changing it because you find something better. So I've been really malleable in this process of moving things about in my van, and because of that, I have found a lot of different solutions for different pieces. And you know, it's like a puzzle every single time, getting it back into where I think it's going to be the best place so that I can be prepared for the next trip. Now, because fall conditions are supposedly rolling in, I want to be able to take a few things that have long sleeves and maybe a couple more of my lightweight jackets just in case, because I was looking at the weather app and in some of these places it's saying it's like in the 40s at night. That can get pretty chilly. So I want to make sure that I am prepared, and now that I've freed up a little bit of room, I'll be able to do that. But at the same time, it's still summertime feeling during the day. So it's kind of a weird time when it comes to van life because I need both of those things. So this is going to give me more room to do that. Okay, I also went ahead and brought out this one. This is the Alpha ESS, and this is the big boy right here. This is 1,000 watts. And you probably saw that I unboxed this. Well, this is going to be a power station that I try out in a lot of different ways. It is a little bit larger than the one that I keep by the door normally, but I really like having this as one of my bigger options. And so this is a good place for this to live right now. And because I can get it out so easily, I plan on taking it out whenever I'm at Gutted and being able to use it around camp. So that's why I wanted it so easy to access. Meanwhile, back here, I have a nice little spot for the all power and then also the Vatid because I really like that as a small 300 watt power station. I do have them turned off right now, and I've left enough room for my Jackery cord so that my Jackery can sit up here. Again, guys, I take a lot of power with me. This trip, I'm going to have a 600 watt, a 700 watt, a 300 watt, and two 1,000 watt power stations. But I have a lot of adventures going on, and there's going to be days where I'm not going to be able to charge my solar because I'm just going to be moving about non-stop. So I wanted to bring a lot more power on this one. So we're trying out all of these, and I'll be giving you full reviews, of course, of the ones you haven't seen very soon. Okay, let me show you what I did. Back here, where I used to have my recovery boards, I actually have placed my shoe container. Back here I have all the things that I need, some extra bungees, bear spray, and then also my little mosquito device. I have a couple of rolls of toilet paper, my security lights, everything, and then I have some slots for my shoes. And then this pair of shoes I bought before this trip because I really needed to replace the black shoes that I've been wearing for way too long. On my channel, you've probably seen me almost slide off at least 3 or 4 surfaces as a result of those shoes. So I needed some new ones. So these are actually going to go under my front driver's seat. So like after I sweep, they'll go in this little cubby right here. But for now, I'm just going to leave them sitting here because I know that's where they go. It makes my life easier if it's already in the space. But yeah, I finally replaced the shoes. I thought it was time. New shoes, new fun adventures. I'm so excited. But at the same time, safety. I really needed to do that. So I'm going to be taking those. And then I have another couple pairs of shoes that I still need to put in here. Of course, because I'm going to be doing a lot of different kinds of adventuring, I need different kinds of shoes. So I'll bring my water shoes, I'll bring my hiking shoes, I'll bring a good pair of shoes that I can wear just kind of around, and then these are my new adventure shoes. So good tread, no slipping. We shall see if we can keep it together. So as of right now, I have the chair where it always is. However, this might change because I am waiting on my ladder. The ladder should be here tomorrow, and then I'll be able to determine if it will fit here or if I need to put it here, or if it needs to go up in the front. Sadly, when I looked around to see if I could find a ladder anywhere nearby, I checked in several different communities that are within just a short drive. None of them had the ladder that I needed, so I did have to order it. Unfortunately, because of that, until tomorrow, I will not know where exactly it will go, which is delaying a few of the things that I need to do, because that will dictate where some of the things fit in my van going forward. Now, a couple of other things that I could do if it does need to go here. I could actually put my chair in my roof box, which would not be that big of a deal. I am honestly thinking about doing that anyway. But also, I could, if I needed to, lay it down next to the bike. Now, ultimately, I was trying to leave as much of my aisle open as I can, but I do want to take the bike because there's some beautiful trails that I want to go on while I am up in the area that I'll be in. So I'm so excited, and maybe I'll get to see some fall. I'm not sure. We're going to find out real soon, I guess. But yeah, so those are all up in the air. So until those things are kind of discovered, the bed's not getting made. So what am I doing in the meantime? Well, I'm about to go fold all of my shirts using my t-shirt folder so I can load them in the van, and also get my leggings ready. I'm gonna try to take a couple of outfits that can kind of transition from cooler weather into warmer weather, or warmer weather into cooler weather, and maybe take some layers. So I'm trying to debate on what all I want to take with me realistically. Okay, so I went ahead and brought out the 2 bags that I'm going to be carrying with me on this trip, and I have this guy right here, which is my nicer bag, and I just keep extra stickers in it and things like that, and it fits so nicely right up against this back door because it flattens out. I purchased this whenever I went to Disney, and I just found it to be a really good size for a good casual bag that also looks kind of nice. But then I'm bringing this one, the Murphy Outfitter bag. This is a sling bag that was custom made for me. I'm so excited because this is going to be its first adventure. And again, Murphy Outfitter, very nice. It is a friend of the channel, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about this as we kind of go along on all of our adventures. But I want to put these right here because this is a nice space for them so I can access them. But then that means the chair doesn't have a spot. So I think the chair is going to end up in the roof box. This is where I always put my bags, and then also like my jackets so that I can easily access them. And so when I was kind of lining things up, I was like, you know, I don't love the chair there, so I think it can move. I know, it's a wishy-washy day for me, but at the same time, I'm trying to do all these things so that they'll do the best for me personally. And I have found that this placement is very nice because when I'm getting ready, I can just open up my doors like this. I can grab what I need. I can switch over the things that are important to me. And then I have a bag that goes with me for the day. I also have a little fanny pack that I'm going to be taking with me that I've been carrying around since we went up to the Pacific Northwest. Purchased that, very inexpensive, and found it to just be a good size for just a grab and go. So those are the 3 bags that I'll be taking with me. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good way to do just about everything that I need. I can wear the Murphy Outdoor one whenever I am biking. I can wear the nice one whenever I go to things that are a little bit more fancy with my pinky out. And then my athletic bag is just the fanny pack. So it works out good. Okay, so now that we have our bags packed, literally, what else? I need to pack jackets. So I'm gonna pack a lightweight oversized jacket because that's a good grab and go. That's very comfortable to move around in whenever I'm filming. I'm also gonna be taking a raincoat just in case because there is a little bit of rain forecasted potentially. In addition, I always carry at least 1 flannel with me and at least 1 hoodie, mostly because I like to sleep in hoodies, and flannels are good for just dressing up something really quickly. So that pretty much covers all of my sleeve needs. But I'm also probably going to pack a couple of lightweight sleeved options just for everyday wear, just in case I wake up one day and it's like, oh, it's cold outside today. I'm doubting it will be that way, but this is a good way for me to transition my van for winter, so we'll just go ahead and put it in there. As you can see, I went ahead and took the little bungee off of my shelf. The bungee typically stretches across these, and this is where I put my pants and my shirts and then all of my unmentionables. And so all of that fits in perfectly there. And then under the bed on this side, I have one additional bin with my fancy clothes. Now, what I mean by fancy clothes is not necessarily what everybody's gonna mean by fancy clothes. It just means that like I have jeans in there. Oh, jeans. I also have a couple of lightweight cute shirts that aren't t-shirts. That's pretty much the extent of fancy that we're taking with us on this trip. Not gonna do anything too wild and crazy. I'm not planning on going out on the town or being reckless. I just want to be able to take a good shower, put a face of makeup on, and take myself to dinner and not look like I'm in athletic wear sometimes. Ooh, and maybe, just maybe, I will put a sweater in there. Oh, I love sweater season, and it's getting time for that. So it's time to pull out some sweaters, I think. Maybe a really lightweight one, or maybe just a cardigan. A cardigan might work. Okay, there we go. 3 pairs of shoes, perfect in there. Again, the hiking boots on the end because they have a taller top to them. The regular shoes, which are a low top, and then the Sequays. Since I'm going back into base camp, I'm probably gonna take this pillow in. You know, I wanted to sell these in my store just with the travel more, but I realized that the white is probably not ideal for most people with van life. So I'm thinking about making a different color of this. If you're interested in this, do you think that it would work? So let me know in the comments if you guys like this pillow and if you would like to see something like this in my shop. I'm probably not going to obviously put the subscribe sign on it because nobody else needs that. But this design I really, really love. It's just the white itself gets kind of dingy. You know, putting clothes in pillowcases, super, super handy. Although I will say, if you have a regular traditional pillow, you don't want to put too many clothes in there because then it makes it kind of lumpy and then it's not as comfortable. Okay, it's the next day. My allergies are crazy today. So we're gonna go get our oil changed and then be outside. Fall apparently came in a little bit overnight, so it's much cooler today so far. Texas experiences 26 different seasons in a single day sometimes. So we're gonna see if this persists, but let's go get our oil changed. Now I have put a lot of miles on my van and you know, I just try to make sure that I maintain all of my oil changes, and if I'm ever at base camp and it's close, I'll go ahead and get it changed instead of waiting until I'm on the road, because that just keeps me from having to scramble to find a place that I can get it done, because sometimes not all oil change places are created equally. Let me explain. When I was in the Pacific Northwest, I had to go to a Jiffy Lube. It was the only place that was available in the community that I was in. They charged me double what it normally cost me to get my oil changed. And on top of that, I think that they were just banking on the fact that I didn't know what I was talking about. Whenever I pulled into the bay, I noticed something kind of weird. They take your physical keys from you whenever you pull into a Jiffy Lube, and I don't know if it's that one specific or all of them, but they take your keys and then they try to present you with all the things that you can do, and then whenever you say you just need a basic oil change, then they start trying to tack on extra things anyway. And when it was all said and done, the bill was going to be well over $100 just to get my oil changed. And I thought, that's kind of crazy because I've had my oil changed all across the country and never spent that much on a basic oil change. So I'm getting this done before I hit the road just to kind of spare myself some of those issues as I'm traveling this time. It won't make it an urgency to find a place to get my oil changed, and that's going to be way handy. Oh my goodness, guys. They just cleaned the windshield and it's probably the best I have seen it in a very long time. So I am actually going to go pick up a couple of products that he just suggested to me, because some of those bugs I have been scrubbing on for weeks and couldn't get them off, and he just got the big ones off. You know, I don't often justify adding something else to my adventure van. However, when I was sitting there talking to him, I just asked him outright, what did you just spray on my windshield and how can I get it? And he said it's a product available at Walmart, and then the main key is to actually get a really good squeegee. So he suggested that I go to O'Reilly's or Walmart and pick up one of the Rain-X ones, and so I'm going to do that. He had to scrub pretty hard to get those things off, and he could tell that I had tried to scrub, I'm pretty sure. So this is his solution, and after I am just so impressed. So we're gonna go to Walmart. Okay, I picked up window cleaner and a squeegee, but I also picked up some lunch and also some things to make my van smell nice. And I'm gonna keep this and scan it into Fetch because I get points for it. And because today I got a Pepsi, I'll get a few extra points because Pepsi is one of the brand partners for Fetch. So every little bit adds up. And right now I got myself a little $10 gift card going on. Yay! But we're only a little bit away from the next size up, which I think is a $15 gift card. So then I'll be able to use it whenever I'm on the road shopping at places like, well, Walmart. And also I can shop on Amazon and use the gift cards there. So yeah, gonna scan this. Of course, next up, before I head back to base camp, I'm gonna go ahead and go over and get some gas. Gas here is $3.03 at the time of this filming, which is so nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and top off my tank. That way I'm ready to go as soon as I wake up. Okay, I came back from getting the oil changed and the ladder's here. So let's open this up and take it out there. Oh guys, this is gonna be perfect. I freed up a space right behind the bed and I thought that would be big enough for it, but I wasn't sure. And now that I am bringing it out, let's move a couple things it's sticking to. And it looks like, yes, it will fit perfect in here. Oh, that is gonna be awesome. Which means that since that now I know where it's going to go, I can start putting everything together because I'm not gonna have to move things around or scramble to find a spot. It fits perfectly. Yes. Okay, so I'm back outside. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my roof box, but also put my chair up there, and we're testing out the new ladder. Whew. So far, so good. I'm just putting a little weight onto each one of these each time I step down. Ooh, okay. I feel confident with this so far. Okay, so I made it up. I put those things in. Now we're just kind of closing it. I'm not finished up here, so I'm gonna leave the ladder out. I will say this, very different than the other ladder that I was using. So it's gonna take some adjustment and some getting used to, but I think this is gonna work out really well. Okay, next up, I need to update my insurance information, and I usually keep it right in my glove box in my little container down here. Okay, that's packed. Now I can load the things that go here. Also, I went ahead and dumped my toilet. I have a little dump station that I can dump it in. So I went ahead and did that, cleaned it up, stocked up my baby wipes, did all of those things, and it stores nicely under here. I'm gonna have to make the bed because this is way too long on this side and way too short on that side. But again, the bed is the last thing that I do. So for now, I'm pulling out this bin, which is my fancy clothes bin. I'm gonna change out some things to make them seasonally appropriate. And then we're almost done, guys. Okay, as you guys know, I like to use packing cubes. However, right now, the only packing cubes that I have are these, which I really love from Eddie Bauer. They're great for whenever you fly. However, they don't zip down to make things kind of suck down into space. So instead, I've been using my regular bin and just putting my unmentionables in here. And so that way I can have everything easy, kind of like a drawer. So, retiring these until I fly again. Slowly but surely, I have built my van so that it can resemble more of a normal home. And by doing these little bins right here, it literally is like drawers. So it's been so handy. But I can carry a ton of different things inside of these. In fact, believe it or not, there are over 20 shirts in that one bin. Ooh, yeah. We're doing good. Of course, I do still want to use this packing cube though, because this keeps my bathing suit and then also my bathing suit cover up together so that I can have them just in case I need them, but I don't need these all the time. So what I was thinking is maybe putting that in here because this is a good place for this, and at the same time that'll help support my sink and my shower bucket also, so that I'll have it if I need it, but it won't be in the way otherwise. So with that, I think this section is now finished. So all I need to do now is just pull my entire bedding over this way, and then I'll make my bed after we clean this part off. But we're still missing one of these little bins. I need to bring my leggings out here. Okay, I brought a few other things out. I have some new mountain houses. I always add a few, and I really am enjoying the veggie chorizo, which is the new one. So I'm gonna take a couple breakfasts and a couple of dinners. And I already have a couple of these in here also. So I'm gonna pack up all these. And then I also have some new butane and a few other small things that need to go in my dry bin down here. This is one of the things that I picked up because Well, Riley and I have really gotten into doing charcuterie boards, and so we needed something that was a little bit larger that we could also cut on. And even though I have some plates, this is just going to work a little bit better for entertaining while we're at our next event. So you guys might be asking what else is in here, so I wanted to bring out a couple other things. In this bin, I keep liquid IV because this is something that is so handy. In fact, I've been drinking these all summer. You just pour them into your water, and then they multiply your hydration level and really keep you hydrated longer. Of course, I have some tea in here because I really love tea, and then also these honey packets. I like to keep them all in this bin because it just makes it easier to access. I also have some of my coffee packets and then some just drink mixes because I access this to get my supplies usually so that I can brew something or make something. So it's super easy to get to. Okay guys, it's the next morning and there's a few things that I still needed to put in the van, but I needed some better light to do it. I wanted to show you a couple things that I have that I'm going to be taking in and that I'm going to be putting out. So this is actually going to be joining the van. Is this necessary? Absolutely not. Do I have something that I'm using this for? Yes. This is going to be super fun, and you'll see what exactly I'm using this starry projector for once we get to Gutted. It's going to be super, super fun, but because this is a box, it does have to have a spot basically. So I'm going to be moving some things around. And I decided that this was super important to keep in the packaging because it does have a light in there. So it's going to have to go in the cab instead of the roof box. So in order to make room for that, I'm going to go ahead and take out my Road Pro for this trip because I feel like I'm going to use this for something very specific. And this I'd love to use, but I'm just not going to be able to use it on this trip because I want to take this. Sometimes it's about sacrifice and figuring out what you want and what you don't need necessarily. So this is going in. This is coming into the van. Also, I usually carry 2 full cases of DVDs. This trip I'm only going to take 1 because I'm trying to scale down just a little bit. So I put some different titles in here that I had last time. I always rotate a few DVDs while I'm traveling just in case I don't have good service, so I have something to watch or listen to in the background. I just added my little fancy clothes bin, but on top of the fancy clothes bin, I decided to put like a little hoodie and a sun shirt so I can make the most of this space. And of course here I have some of my cords and things, but right beside that is where my cleaning supplies will live while I'm on this trip. And I actually have one more that will go there also. This just helps me be able to access these things, but them not be all in the space and out in the way. Remember guys, in a small space, every single inch counts. And if you're looking at this video thinking, yeah, you look a little different from when you started out. I decided I wanted to do something fun. I've done blue before, so this time I decided I wanted to do pink just to have some fun with my hair. And yeah, this is gonna be another way that I can adventure. Just a rundown of a couple of other things. I have this bracket mount, which I actually picked up on Amazon, and I can use this for my GoPro, but I also have this cell phone mount. So when I'm laying in bed, I can put my cell phone here and actually watch TV from over here. So that's pretty cool. Okay, I got the light in there along with all my other things. I have a hammock down here, my shower, my medical kit, stuff like that. And now I'm just going to finish bungeeing these in place. If I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Bungees are one of your best friends in van life. Whenever you're securing things, bungees can be the easiest way to do so very quickly. Now I have a couple of other things that I need to put in here, some tripods, and then I'm going to load in my bike and my water, and then I'm ready to go, minus getting dressed, of course. This is always the hardest part, is getting things how I want them to be after I've pulled things out. But I'm super excited because we're almost to the finish line, and I'm really excited about the event that I'm going to. But this has been quite the process, let me tell you. Of course, this little guy's gonna go. I did remove a few other things from my van that were like sentimental things, but this guy's so cute. So he's definitely going with me. Now, last but not least, I picked up these 2 sets of chopsticks whenever I was in the Pacific Northwest. I really love them, but these are a little bit more like fragile feeling. So I think I'm just gonna keep this one in here, and that way I'll have some really great chopsticks, but this guy's gonna go inside. He'll be added to my bunny collection. I also picked up these whenever I was at Walmart the other day. These are the Velcros that I use for my patches. I just got the sticky back collection. And so all I'll have to do is, as I pick up more pieces, I'm going to be able to cut off little pieces of this and place them on my ceiling. So I want to put this in the front. For now, it could live right here, but maybe it'll live under there later. I don't know. I haven't figured out this front section. I just know that I have to be able to access the things that are in here. So maybe I can get it to lay down so it's a little less awkward. But these are my window covers that I use every single day. I have some lotion, some eye drops, some additional cords, and things like that in there. So that's all done. Now I know the Jackery is going to live here, so I'm gonna go ahead and trace the cord and plug it in so it can charge off the alternator. Even though it is fully charged right now, this will just keep it balanced whenever I plug in the fridge, which is my next step right in here. Okay, now I need to turn it all on. So I will just hit my little button. There it is. And you could hear the fridge turned on. So now I'm gonna let that cool off before I load it up. In the meantime, I'm gonna take some things in and bring out my pillows. Okay, pillows are in, and each one of them has like pajamas in it. I do need to straighten this up a little bit because I just sat on the bed to fix it, but that part's done. All I'm missing now is filling up my water bottles and loading them, and then adding the bike and the water and changing out the battery on the Midland. Okay, the signs are back on the van, and now it's time to put the groceries that I have in the fridge. Okay, this is what we're starting off with. Of course, I do have to go to the grocery store, but these are some of the staples that I have in here. And now it's time to take the trash out, and then we are ready to go. Okay, that's it. After we take out this trash, we are finished. This has been a wild ride, and again, every single time I do this, I just kind of scratch my head because I end up rearranging things. Again, proving that even when you've been on the road for a while, some things change. That's why doing the no-build van build was the best thing for me from the start, because I've been able to make all these modifications because all of the parts within my space can move. So I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me as I prepare to go to Gutted. I am so excited. We're about to go and show some support for Lady Bug Out and all of the van team. Go Team Van. I can't wait. This is gonna be fun. And thank you guys for coming along. Until next time, guys. Bye.